Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. Have you had a hard time finding garlic this year? If you have, you're not alone. Let's do a little bit of a talk about garlic, and I might can solve your problem. We're going to get some garlic ready while it's raining. Now, as you can see, this is store-bought garlic. Now, I like to plant store-bought garlic, and it's not that you have to. It's a lot of people say you worry about getting rust, you worry about getting this thing. Yeah, there's a lot of, you can worry about everything if that's what you want to worry about. I've had good luck with growing different types. I like to try to find me some garlic that is purple. Always when I look at store-bought garlic, I like to see some purple on it. It might just be me, but it seems like most of the spicier flavored garlics are have purple on them. Now, we did buy some last year from trying to think what it was up there in Oregon, and it came up good, but we didn't end up. The crop wasn't as good as it could have been. There were certain factors that played into it that year, so we changed. We didn't have a lot of garlic left, so we changed and we have some elephant garlic that we planted, and we saved some of the. We did save some of our crop that we had from Oregon, but we didn't have enough of that for the amount of garlic that we wanted to plant. So, and when most of you probably already know that's been looking that a lot of the garlic was sold out. And to me, it's kind of expensive. So it doesn't take that much for me to take a chance on some store-bought garlic. Now, for some of you up north, that might be a bigger chance than what you want to take, because a lot of these garlics are grown in warmer temperatures, and what you end up with is you got something that doesn't grow good in your season. So you might be more concerned that way. There is another way to get garlic. If you go to the farmer's market and you buy garlic whenever they're selling it that year, and you can save it. Now, garlic does keep for a pretty good long time, but sometimes it doesn't keep so well. Now, while we're doing this garlic, now I'm going to plant all of these because I have a lot of room, but if you're with limited space, I want you to know that when you're breaking apart your garlic, you'll have different size cloves here. A lot of times you'll get little bitty cloves like this compared to these bigger cloves like this. Now, you always want to plant the bigger cloves. You can take the smaller ones and you can eat them. Now, me, I'm not so concerned with that because I have extra space. If I end up with some little garlic, a lot of this might be pulled up as fresh garlic. So it won't be any concern as far as whether it's a big bulb or not, because when you do fresh garlic, normally you don't have this. It's not old enough to be separated into cloves. It'll be one big bulb, and that's the way you use it. It's fine to use it that way. But be aware of that if you're not letting it go long enough. And a lot of times people say it takes, in order for it to striate those cloves in there, they say it has to go through a certain amount of cooling period. Now, this is December 31st, and this will probably get put out. I don't know if I'm taking off for New Year's or not, so it might get put out tomorrow. I put some out few weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago, that it was actually late too. But I had some that didn't come up, which it still might come up, and then they'll be interplanted, and it'll be a little bit of extra in that place, so they might not be as big. But what I might do is just pull off some of the extra ones that comes up when they get a little bit of size. Go ahead and pull them up, sell them for fresh garlic, or use them for fresh garlic, and then turn around and let the other ones grow to maturity. Because they were elephant garlic, and for those that aren't familiar, if you go to my garlic planting video, I'll talk about it. But elephant garlic puts off what I call a seed. It's actually a nodule that forms on the outside of the garlic plants, and a lot of times when you harvest garlic, you end up with garlic coming back. That's kind of like my one herb bed has some garlic coming up in it, because no matter how hard we try, we always miss some of those nodules from where we had garlic planted, and the dirt that we used when we moved that bed, that was actually our old garlic bed, and it had some of those nodules in it. So I've got a few of them that's coming up. In fact, I pulled one up because it was coming up so late I thought it was grass, and when I pulled it up I realized it, and planted it back into the bed so it could grow on, and we'll harvest it in the spring. But this is not a hard thing to do as far as growing garlic this way. It's just one of those things, you plant it and you put it in the ground. Now, when I put mine in kind of early and all my other garlic come up, I was concerned with, like I say, some of it not being viable. Normally, when it's not good seed, and sometimes that doesn't even matter, but when it's soft and you can push on it and it's brown, a lot of times those won't germinate. But I have planted some that was given to me, the elephant garlic that was originally given to me. My wife planted it, and she had actually thrown some of those bad ones off to the side beside the bed, and they took hold and started growing. So just because they look bad ain't necessarily mean that they are too bad to germinate. They were way past being able to eat them, but as far as for germination, they still had a lot of life left in them. But when you buy your seed garlic from the store, and like I say, you have to watch your varieties. Down south, a lot of these I've never had a problem growing, and I don't know if there would be a problem growing them up north. But I would just say that is a possibility. So if it doesn't work, you'll know after you do it. But with seeds, too many times there's too much emphasis put on seeds. But it looks like a double one there, but maybe it hadn't quite split apart. So, but just be aware of that when you're planting your garlic. And if you can't find any garlic in your area because everybody's bought it and planted it, and you're way up north and you can't put yours in the ground like we do in the fall, or if you're way down here in the south, I'm in Zone 8B. That doesn't mean a whole lot, because you go to different Zone 8Bs and the temperatures are so much difference at certain times. We're definitely a lot warmer than some of the 8Bs that might be, say, coastal, because coastal doesn't get quite as cold a lot of times because the oceanic climate keeps them from getting to that cold a temperature, and your zone is based on your minimum winter temperature. So just because you're in 8B or whatever zone you're in, doesn't mean that just because someone else in that zone can plant something, you can. But you'll have to do that. But if your ground doesn't freeze hard in this winter time and you hadn't put garlic out and you want some garlic or try it for next year, go to your grocery store and get some garlic. You're not going to get some terrible disease that's going to ruin your garden. Your crop might not be good because of the garlic, and it might not grow, but you're just talking a few dollars. If it does, you're going to be really happy because you actually grew your garlic. If you're putting it in later, you might not even see it start to sprout until the springtime. It will be growing. Believe me, it'll be growing if it's in there and it was not old and rotted garlic. But what it'll be doing is it'll be putting roots down. And if you want to learn about growing garlic, you can, or planting garlic, you can go back and I've got a video on that. And if I think, I'll link it in there whenever I do that. But I've got, this is a 3 pound. Again, this is a lot of garlic. I've got half a 3 pound cottage cheese container full of garlic bulbs. These are some nice big bulbs. And definitely I'm going to have a lot of garlic from them. And it might not be the prettiest, but it really looks like pretty garlic. And hopefully it likes its new bed that it's going into. Well, there you have it. Garlic problem solved. Just head down to the grocery store. Like I say, you hear so much that people's going to be naysayers. They're going to tell you one way or the other, but you'll hear a lot of people that actually do it that way. That's where they get their garlic. Once you get a garlic that you like, just save part of your crop and replant it. But what I'm going to tell you is plant enough garlic that you have enough extra so you have seed for your next crop. That's one mistake a lot of people make. Garlic can be grown just about anywhere, so find a spot, stick it there, and take and get it growing. If you haven't put it in yet, your ground's not frozen, find that spot and stick it in. I hope you like this. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you'll be notified. Give it a big thumbs up and share it for your friends. Happy gardening.